Alright, so it's time to muck out the chicken pen, which I've kind of been putting off. Hey girls! We have the tarp over them, or the thingy, because, you know, they fly now, or they flap. There they go. Let's see, it is about 85 in here, perfect temperature. There's my little temperature gauge. Alright girls, y'all are starting to stink a little bit. Oh, I got stuck. So let's see, it's about, what, 12 days since I've had chickens? They get so big so fast! What are you doing, princess? Yep. They're so funny. We've got their coop almost done. There's some argument over whether we need an electric door, like that rises at a certain time and or opens at a certain time on its own and closes at a certain time on its own. And I'm like, it's just chickens. Why do we need that? And I don't know. It is being insisted on fairly heavily. I don't get it, but here we are. So we're looking at doors today, and then I'll have some progress on that theoretically. Blue over there hiding is doing okay. Yesterday we had to clean off her nasty icky butt, and this one is still not thriving very well. I knew that, you know, livestock becomes dead stock as you learn, but also not all chickens get to thrive. This is the same age as her. She's almost indistinguishable from the babies. That's a baby. That's the leghorns that were born late March along with her. But this is a baby that was born, let's see, today is Tuesday. So about a week ago. They peck a bit. I don't know. She's not doing real hot. And, you know, some people have said you should probably end it because she's just suffering and she won't ever pull up. I guess I'll give her a couple more days and see what happens. Because these two are babies and they're as big as she is. Alright, well, I'm going to go get the shovel and wheelbarrow and muck out this nasty den of iniquity. Get some fresh pine shavings in there. Get some diatomaceous earth, just a tiny bit. Change water, change food, and generally piss off the chickens real quick. Alright, I'll be back after that. Alright, I got the, as you can see by my feet and the absence here, I moved out our chicken pen. This is my first time mucking it out. This is water, like where they've spilled their water for the most part. Wow, the smell. Like, it's not as bad as I would have thought, but it's definitely not great. We have our little compost pile over there. I'm gonna go churn it up and get all that settled out. But yeah, gross. I'm not totally sure how to like disinfect this because, I mean, damp, warm, like 'cause it's under a heat lamp. So damp with water, warm with heat lamp, and poop. Doesn't seem like a great trio of things for like bacteria. I mean, it seems like that's the problem, is it is a great thing for bacteria, and I don't know how to disinfect. I don't know if you're supposed to like bleach it or not. But I'm letting that dry out for a minute under what weak sun we have, because direct sunlight kills a lot of things. And then I got our chicken babies over here. Hey, crazy girls, they're getting some sun time. It's not a big pen for them, but since it's a temporary, you know, few minutes ordeal, and it's a fairly warm day, I can't imagine it's too bad for them. What are y'all doing? There's nothing in there except some cardboard on the bottom. Well, alrighty. Gotta get out their feed pen or their feed stuff, and just gonna dump that whole thing out, I guess. They pooped over the top layer of it, which is pretty gross. And then their water. Probably gonna add a little bit more of the probiotic stuff over here in my pile of junk. Hydro hen. I might diatomaceous earth the bottom of that. I don't know if that is gonna do great, but there were some silverfish on the bottom of it, so that could help with the bugs on the bottom. Guess I'll use the rest of my pine needles or pine shavings and call it good after I Google what you're supposed to do about disinfecting these things. Alright, I'll be back when everything's done. Alright, so my forgetful self forgot that today is really gray and rainy and gross, so it was not a great idea to wash out the chicken coop. I don't have bleach. I know what kind of suburban mother or whatever almost country. We live in like the technically not country, but like a spit from it. Anyway, what kind of not country mom am I that I don't have bleach? So I instead used a butt ton of just like, here, let me show you. It's just run-of-the-mill, regular old white vinegar, slightly distilled. I dumped it in because I have bunches of this, you know. Cleaned up their food bowl with it, cleaned up their water bowl with it, which is now full, cleaned out their coop with it, which took most of my giant tub of this, because I'd mostly just use vinegar to clean. And since it's so icky, again, I had to put a fan on, had the girls out here for a minute, which they actually really enjoyed. And right now, sorry about all of the mess and the awful camera angle, I've got a fan on to help dry it, and the girls are still in their little temporary coop. I'm going to go fill that in, get their food ready, and then finish this up, I guess. Alright, this was probably as clean as I'm going to see it again for a while. As you can tell, they are mad at me. Cheaping up a storm and grumpy. Checking out their bedding and digging out any of these little red spots that they play with, and for some reason eating it. Quit it, you. Hey, quit. Weird. Unfortunately, my little leghorn over here is just not doing real well. She can't stand up anymore. It's a hot day, so it's still in the 80s, and I didn't think that would be bad while I cleaned this out. But I don't really know what to do with this. She hasn't been doing well for several days, as we know. And I feel like I should end her torment. But I don't know, A, how to do that, B, if that's what you do in this situation, and C, like, will she pull out of it? I don't know. I'm thinking of bringing her in the house, giving her food and water, and seeing how well she does. If she doesn't, then I'll just have to put it in God's hands, and that's just going to have to be that. Which is terribly sad, and I'll try not to ugly cry, because I know that some people are pretty well adjusted to having to end livestock and whatnot, and you know, eventually I think I'll be fine, because some of these girls will be food. If we have more than one rooster, we're definitely going to, because most of them were sexed. But I mean, that's only like a 90 to 95% accuracy. And then we have several that are unsexed, like the laces, all of the Wyandottes or dotes, whatever. All of our Wyandottes are not sexed. We have the Easter eggers were not, or 2 of them were and 2 of them were not. So who knows? Everybody else should theoretically be a girl, but who knows, like I said. So we might have to eat some of these, and that's just par for the course. If you have chickens that are dual-purpose birds, you're going to eat some of them at some point. I worry for Blue. We named this one Blue because, well, obviously. Her butt's all purple. Like, I don't know if that's totally normal. Like, not the vent. I mean, like, where the belly button is underneath the vent. Like, that whole area is kind of this weird bruised color, which is quite odd. I would show you, but I don't want to pick her up. Because yesterday I had to clean off a super nasty pasty butt. Like, I had to take her in and do the lukewarm water thing. Because gentle pulling with, like, a lukewarm paper towel, like, trying to soak it that way, like, pushing it up on her butt. And then that way did not work at all. Like, not even a little. And I tried, I don't have toothpicks. I tried to clip off a little bit of it with scissors, but I didn't want to actually hurt her and was not confident. So I decided that I would just do that and put her under the heat lamp afterwards. And she's perked up quite a bit. She was very lethargic, very much not moving around. Now she's kind of moving around. That loud peeping is her. Though you'll hear like they're cheeping or whatever. Yeah, that. Every time I point it out. But yeah, she's been doing that. And I don't know if that's an alert or cry for help, or if she's just kind of figuring out how to be around a bunch of rowdy older girls. Keeping an eye on her. We're probably... Like, that just hurts my heart. When things die because they're sick, it makes me sad. You know, like, they should have good lives until you're ready to eat them. You know, be good stewards of the things that were left to us and all. Like, I tried to help her with, like, I bought that. It's up there where there's mess. But the electrolyte water solution I got specifically for her. Because somebody said it potentially could be worms. That's why I started with the diatomaceous earth, just because it helps. Like, it doesn't cure them, obviously. Like, you have to go get worming medicine. And again, here in Granbury, or here where I live, you have to go to the vet, and there are only 3 vet hospitals, and they all charge between $80 and $100 for a vet visit, which is ridiculous. And we can't do that right now, so I don't know, I just feel terrible. I wish there was a way I could help more, but, you know, I guess this is the reality. So I'll give her food and water. I'll take her in the house and keep her where it's warm, because I don't know that she'll do well in here with them. I mean, I don't know that she'll do any better with me, but, you know, I got a bleeding heart sometimes, and this is one of those times, so I'll see if I can help her perk up, or I'll have to... Oh, there she goes. Are you getting up, girl? Darn. Yeah, my first leghorn that passed did just this as well, and I came in and found her and ugly cried, because, like I said, I'm a wiener, but at least there's 19 healthy ones, probably. Like I said, Blue gives me a little bit of worry right now. She's so little, but ultimately I've got a lot of healthy birds, and I'm really happy for that. So today was a fun, I guess. Chicken cleaning is not exactly the best thing in the world, and it's a terrible idea when everything's wet and you have to get your big industrial fan to blow out most of the wet. But overall, good learning experience. Vinegar works instead of bleach. You dump this out in your compost pile and eventually that'll be good. Until then, quit playing with that, you ding dong. I guess until then, until the next cleaning, you know, I'll just regularly clean it, but I figure while they're little, disinfecting is probably wise, especially considering that she's sick. I had one more die, so just in case, might as well disinfect. But not my favorite chore in the world. I don't think anybody who has chickens enjoys coop cleaning necessarily, but here we are. So that's the first time I've cleaned a coop. I guess I'll come back at y'all with an update about my poor little baby over here, who, because of this, I have not named, and that's sad, and I feel bad, but here we go.